Hello students, we saw in the previous video that there is an endocrine gland located at the base of the human brain, which governs the functioning of all other endocrine glands in the body, and hence called the master endocrine gland. Can you recall the name of this gland? Yes, you are right. This master endocrine gland is the pituitary gland, also known as hypophysis. Like all endocrine glands, the pituitary gland also releases chemical messengers or hormones directly into the bloodstream. It is a small gland, almost the size of a pea, and its approximate weight is 0.5 grams. It is attached to the hypothalamus by a stalk called the pituitary stalk. It consists of two components or lobes, the anterior pituitary and the posterior pituitary. The anterior pituitary is also known as adenohypophysis, and the posterior pituitary is also known as neurohypophysis. The posterior lobe produces only two hormones, while all other pituitary hormones are produced by the anterior lobe. Hormones secreted by the anterior pituitary are: first, growth hormone; second, thyroid stimulating hormone; third, adrenocorticotropic hormone; fourth, gonadotropic hormone, which comprises the follicle stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone; fifth, prolactin. Now let's look at the functions of these hormones. First, let's see the growth hormone. Growth hormone stimulates the growth of various tissues of the body. It is responsible for the overall growth of the body in growing children. It also controls cell metabolism. The most important effect of growth hormone is on height. It stimulates the growth of bones and muscles. It increases the metabolism of carbohydrates, proteins, and fats in the body. Students, here metabolism means the process by which our body converts what we eat, that is carbohydrates, proteins, and fats, into energy. It stimulates the body's immune system. Any damage to the pituitary gland causes two types of imbalances in the level of hormones secreted by the pituitary gland. If the level of secretion decreases, it is known as hyposecretion, which causes dwarfism, that is stunted growth where height is less than the normal height. And if the level of secretion increases, it is known as hypersecretion, which causes gigantism in children and acromegaly in adults. Gigantism is characterized by the overgrowth of all body tissues and organs in children. In this condition, they attain abnormal increase in height. While in acromegaly, we see abnormal enlargement of head, face, hands, and feet in adults. Now let us see second hormone, thyroid stimulating hormone. The thyroid stimulating hormone or thyrotropin controls the growth of the thyroid gland and stimulates the thyroid gland to secrete its hormones. Please note that this hormone does not come from the thyroid, but rather regulates the production of hormones by the thyroid. Now let's see the third hormone, that is adrenocorticotropic hormone. Adrenocorticotropic hormone stimulates the adrenal glands to synthesize steroid hormones like cortisol. Now let's see the fourth hormone, gonadotropic hormones. There are two gonadotropic hormones, the follicle stimulating hormone and the luteinizing hormone. They are essential for the normal development of the gonads and act on the testes and ovaries for their normal development. Now let's see fifth hormone. Prolactin is another important hormone secreted by anterior pituitary, which induces milk secretion in the mammary glands of pregnant women after childbirth. It is also called lactogenic hormone. So students, these were the hormones produced by anterior pituitary. Now let's look at hormones produced by posterior pituitary. Do you remember the another name of posterior pituitary? Yes, it is also known as neurohypophysis. It receives nerve endings from hypothalamus. The posterior pituitary is nervous tissue as it receives nerve endings from hypothalamus. Students, it is important to know that it does not produce any hormone itself. Rather, it only stores and secretes hormones, namely oxytocin and vasopressin or antidiuretic hormone, which are actually produced by the hypothalamus. Now let's see the functioning of oxytocin. Oxytocin induces contraction of the smooth muscles of the uterus in pregnant women, thus causing labor pains during childbirth. Oxytocin also makes the smooth muscle cells around the glands in the mammary glands contract so that they release the milk. Students, do you remember about prolactin hormone, which stimulates the production of milk? Oxytocin helps in release of the milk produced with the help of prolactin. Now let's see about the functioning of vasopressin. Vasopressin is another important hormone of posterior pituitary, which is also known as antidiuretic hormone. An antidiuretic agent is a substance that retains water in the body and consequently decreases the amount of urine formed. To control the quantity of urine formation, it acts on the distal tubules of kidney. It is by virtue of the antidiuretic hormone that the amount of water is balanced in normal individuals. So students, we have learned that pituitary is the master gland. It consists of two parts, namely anterior pituitary and posterior pituitary. Anterior pituitary releases 5 major hormones, while posterior pituitary releases only 2 hormones. In the next video, we will look at the thyroid and parathyroid glands and the hormones secreted by them.